Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Crafts from the Third Floor. My name is Tracy and I'm coming to you today from Leicestershire, and that's right in the middle of England in the UK. Today it is Friday the 8th of September and it has only been 3 weeks since I last did a podcast, which is a major achievement considering last time it took me about 6 months. So we're making progress. If you've been here before, a massive welcome back, and if you're a first time viewer, hello, make yourself comfortable. I've got a few things to show that are in progress, a couple of things that are kind of finished objects, and I've also got some dream knitting to share with you and possibly a few acquisitions that I've made in the last 3 weeks. So let's get going with works in progress. So if you tuned into the last episode, I was knitting a drift sweater. I am still knitting the drift sweater, but it's coming along. So, let me just show you a close-up. And this pattern, I will put all of the information in the show notes and on the screen now. It's a drift sweater, and it's by Skein Yarns, I believe, the pattern. Let me just check. I know that's their Ravelry, or sorry, Instagram name, but let me just check. It's by Kristen Finlay, but from Skein, Australia. And this is the picture of the pattern. And I'm knitting it out of Stranded Hedgehog, which is one of my yarns, which is a lovely aqua purple with pink, orange and blue speckles. You can see, if I hold it up, you'd be able to see the speckles a bit better. Just peeping around so you can see. And as you can see, I have finished the main body and the lovely rib detail at the bottom. And I have started my first sleeve. I'm only doing short, sort of elbow length sleeves, so I have about 3 inches to go on the sleeve. I'm alternating skeins just to prevent any pooling, and it's not too bad at all. There is a tiny, tiny bit of pooling at the bottom, but not anything that really bothers me, so that's good. And it's a really great knit. I would recommend, if you want a lovely lightweight sweater, it's a fingering weight pattern, and the base that I'm using is my Super Sock, which is 75% Superwash Merino, 25% nylon. It's got enough interest in the yoke part of the pattern. The pattern does say to continue this eyelet detail all the way down the arms, but because my yarn's busy, I didn't want to do that, so I've just done the plain sleeves, and I'll knit another 3 inches and then just do maybe an inch of ribbing on the sleeves. And I love it, and I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the weekend. I'll have it on some 16-inch circulars. These, I believe, are Addi's. Just some 16-inch circulars, so the sleeves are flying, even though I am alternating skeins every row at the moment. And I'll just show you the yarn in the cake. Focus. So that's the yarn in the cake. You can just see some little speckles. So in the skein it looks quite bright, but actually when you knit it up it turns out quite subdued, which is lovely. So that is my main sort of work in progress at the moment. I've turned into a bit of monogamous knitter, so I really have just been knitting on one thing. So that has had all my attention, apart from some socks that I've been doing on my sock machine. So if you've tuned in before, you'll probably be aware that I recently bought a sock knitting machine, a CSM, a circular sock machine, and it's an Erlbacher Gearhart Speedster, which I ordered from the manufacturers in America, and I love it, it's fantastic. So I've been using it to knit up some samples of my yarn. So these are works in progress because they still need toes. I can't remember if I showed these before. If I did, I apologise. This yarn is called the Room of Requirement. It's one of my Harry Potter yarns. It's got some lovely tonal speckles in there. It's a great neutral, this yarn. It would make a lovely sweater. and I just used some West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply solid for the cuff. This yarn is Horcrux, and it's a very pale grey base with speckles of purple, neon green, orange, blue, and a little tiny bit of pink. And then again, I've just used West Yorkshire Spinners for the cuff. I'll just show you the, I'll just show you the inside, look at the state of that. Okay, I'll show you the inside of this one. So you can see it's not actually a rib, it's a rolled hem on these. I don't have a ribbing attachment for my machine, but it's really neat, and I actually really like how these fit. So I think I'm just going to continue doing those hems. Finished object wise, I don't really have a lot to show you. I just have a couple of pairs of socks today, and I've lost my drink somewhere. Oh, it's all the way over there. I'll go and get it in a second. So I have two, I say they're finished, they don't have heels because I'm actually keeping these as show samples, and I didn't want to put heels in them because they actually hang quite nicely just as they are with a toe. And then also if I did want to gift them, I can just put heel in the right place. So these ones are Hedgerow is the yarn colour, and it's a gorgeous tonal berry purple with splashes of taupe and brown and some speckles. And again, another West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply for the cuff. And finally, this is my Witch Head Nebula colourway, which will not come out great on camera, I don't think. It's going to blow out massively. It's a really rich purple with tones of turquoise and blue as well. And because it's blowing out, you're not going to be able to see properly. Maybe if I tilt it that way. I really like this colourway, it just does not photograph particularly well. And the cuff, again, I believe this is actually a Knit Picks Felice, oh no, sorry, Knit Picks Stroll. In electric blue, I believe the colour is. It's a lot darker than it is showing on the screen. So that's all I have. So I have socks to finish, and I have a few pairs of finished socks. I might end up putting heels in, who knows. I did want to show you some finished objects that I didn't knit. These are some gorgeous samples that have been knit by some really lovely people who offered on Instagram when I did a call out for some sample knitters for this show that I'm doing in November. The show's the Nottingham Yarn Expo, and it's on the 11th and 12th of November over that weekend. They do have a Instagram account, Nottingham Yarn Expo, so if you wanted to find out any information, just head on over to their Instagram and I'll put the details on the screen. So I just wanted to show you, first of all, this beautiful Pure Joy shawl that was knit for me by Beki. And the colourways in this are, I'm trying to remember now which colourways it is. I know it's Dive. Dive is the blue. And then I believe this one is Tea Time, but I will have to double check because I'm not 100% sure. But it's absolutely beautiful, and I love the edging. It's such a great pattern. It's Pure Joy by Locatelli. I just absolutely love it. I'm sure that is Tea Time. You really think I'd know my own yarns, wouldn't you? We'll just sort of glaze over that one. So just a big thank you to Beki for this beautiful, beautiful shawl. I love it. I'm going to have to resist the urge to wear it before the show. And secondly, I've got a beautiful crochet shawl, and this was made for me by Alison. Oh no, this is Tea Time. This is Tea Time. This one, just remembered. That's I believe is the signature one, NGY signature, and it's a lovely sort of soft, creamy yellowy base with blue and peach speckles. So that's what that one is. Good work, Tracy. So this one is a crochet pattern which I can't remember the name of, but I will find out and I will pop it on the screen, or I will pop it in the show notes if it's not on the screen. This is crocheted from, I think this is the right side, Fizwilliam Darcy is the dark, which is a beautiful, oh, it's going to blow out massively, which is a beautiful tonal blue with some turquoise and green. And the lace section here is Tea Time, and that is a lovely neutral, sort of very soft beige base with speckles of green, pink, blue and some purple as well. What I'll do is I'll fold it over so you can see the speckles a bit better. And it's such a beautiful pattern. If I can hold it up. It's very similar to the Pure Joy in crochet form, I think. It's a massive size. It's my wingspan. So probably a good 1.5 meters. And it's a crescent shaped shawl with the double border at the bottom and these beautiful eyelet rows. And I've been assured by Alison that it was quite an easy pattern to crochet, so I'm putting that on my list. And the next one I have to show you is this Blanche tee that has been knit out of Dumbledore's Army, and this is on 100% Superwash Merino base. I can hold it up. And I know Amy from Stranded Dye Works has knit one of these recently too, and it's 2 pieces of knit fabric which are then seamed together using a 3-needle bind off on the front and on the back, and it's just lovely. A huge thank you to Sarah for knitting this for me. She actually knit it while she was on holiday, and I think Alison did too, so extra brownie points for that, ladies. It's a beautiful stretchy fabric, really easy to wear, and this I think will look really great with like a black long sleeve t-shirt underneath for the winter. And this is probably my favourite colourway that I dye. It's just so versatile. It's a lovely tonal grey with speckles of grey as well, and it's just delightful on this base. So that is the Blanche tee. Let me hold it up so you can see it properly. Lovely deep v-neck. I can show you it against me so you can see. It's a lovely deep v-neck, so it would look great I think with a high-necked black t-shirt underneath. And finally, this is actually a pattern that hasn't been released yet, and this was done as a test knit for me and the pattern designer, who is Madeleine from Kingfisher Knits. This pattern is the Strawberry Stracciatella pattern, I believe is what she's naming it, and I'm doing the yarn and they're all ice cream themed colorways. So this is cookie dough, so it's 2 different colors, a tonal beige, beigey tan, and then a speckled brown, very soft brown. If I can hold it up so you can see. So it's a lovely design shawl. There's lots of textured patterns and eyelets, and then a dropped stitch part on the border. And you can see these, even though these are garter, well, it's garter and stocking stitch section, it's just a really amazing, beautiful textured piece. And then each section is a slightly different texture. And then there's another textured section there. It's a gorgeous pattern. It's a great size shawl too. Again, it's my wingspan. It's a lovely, lovely pattern. So these will all be available to see when in my booth when we do Nottingham Yarn Show. And I'm just so grateful that people were so generous and offered to knit them for me. I just absolutely love all of them, and I'm just so overwhelmed with how amazing people are. Let me just show you a close-up of that texture. It's beautiful. really beautifully knit, and that was knit for me by Jessica, so thank you, Jessica. Very, 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 very grateful for what you've done. Thank you. I'm going to move on quickly to some dream knitting, and I'm going to be taking part in Amy Florence's festive sock-along. So I've been upstairs while I was waiting for some yarn to set, which I'm still doing. So if I dash off, that's why. I've been upstairs and rummaged around on the 3rd floor looking for some Christmas yarn, because I know that there's a lot up there, and I came down with these. This is a Stray Cat socks. Going to focus. I cannot remember the colourway. I'll find out and put it down in the notes. And this came with a coordinating mini skein. And actually all the yarns that I've pulled are striping yarns, and I'm going to knit these by hand, not on the machine, because that's cheating. I also have this self-striping skein, which is by Eden Yarns, and Christina No Longer Dies. And this is one I managed to grab before she stopped dying. 1 second. And this colourway is called Spice, but to me it looks quite Christmassy. It's got tones of red and brown, gold, green, pink, purple, and it comes with the green mini as well. I've had this in stash for a good couple of years, so it's about time I knit it. And finally I have this, which is a London House Yarns, and it's Christmas at Grimmauld Place. It's not going to focus. Are we focusing? Yes. So I've had this one for a while as well, not quite as long, and this is a beautiful striped and similar colours actually to the Spice, but these are slightly more vibrant. And as I said, London House Yarn, Christmas at Grimmauld Place. So I have 3 skeins of yarn. I'm pretty sure I won't knit all of them, but I will cast them all on, because why not? So they're all slightly different, but all very Christmassy, festive-y colours. And I'll probably do one as a plain set, plain vanilla, one as a patterned stripe, and then I'll just do something different with the other. And I'm keeping those in my new orange fringe supply company bag, because I don't have a red one. I don't think they do red actually, which they should do. So that's what I'm going to be knitting and casting on once I've finished my sweater. And dream knitting, I'm also planning on knitting the new pattern by Boyland Knit One or something or other. Oh, I can't remember what it's called now, and I don't know where my phone is, which is very helpful. It's a new one, it came out, I think it's called Wonderland. I'll put a picture up on the screen if I can find it. So I'm going to knit that, and I'm planning to knit that out of, which colour did I put by? I might do that in my great white colourway, which I did have planned for something else, but I think it will work well with that pattern because it's got a big lace section on the top, sort of below the yoke, sort of up to mid-chest area, big lace pattern. So I'm going to knit that, and that will be my next sweater that I cast on. And I also want to do a Madewell. So they are my dream knitting patterns that I'm hoping to get cast on soon. I'd really, really like to get the great white sweater knit up in time for the show, because it's another sample that I can take with me. And I'm also going to the Curious Handmade Country House Retreat, which is not this Monday coming, the Monday after, so I wanted to take a sweater with me. So hopefully if I get this one off the needles by the weekend, I can then cast on my Wonderland in Great White, and I can take that with me. So I'm swiftly moving on. It's going to be quite a quick podcast episode today because I'm mid-dyeing advent calendars and I have so many to do. I'm day 10 at the moment out of 24. And I have to dye 175 minis per day, so it's 4,200 altogether. So I'm on day 10. I'm hoping to be at least at day 12 by the end of the weekend too, and then try and push through all the rest and get them sent out as soon as possible, because I know how excited that's the timer for the yarn. I know how excited people are about the advent calendar, so I want to get those done and out to people as soon as possible. So that's really what I'm doing at the moment, and planning to knit and things. So what I'm going to do now is take a short break and check on my yarn and just make sure it's not overcooked, and I will set that out to cool down before I rinse it out, and then I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, I'm back. I've just turned all the pans off. I've actually got September's Great Characters of Literature Club in the pots at the moment, which is Dracula, and I love how it's turned out. So excited. What I was going to do next is I've got some acquisitions to share with you, but I also wanted to introduce a new section, even though I feel like I can't really say things like that because I haven't podcasted much and it's been quite sporadic. But I wanted to do a sort of from the archives section and show you some things that I have made in the past. Not necessarily knitting, it could be anything, crochet or sewing or things like that. So what I've done is brought down 2 quilts that I made for the kids. The first one, I made this for Finlay for his 2nd birthday, I believe. Let me just check with the label on it somewhere. 2nd birthday? Yes, 2nd birthday. So this is a quilt that I made all from Finley's clothes from his 1st year of being with us. And it's a really simple put together pattern. It's not complicated at all, but it's a really great effect. So I cut out, I believe these were 6, let me check, 1, 2, probably 5.5, 6-inch squares of his clothes. And then bordered them in this beautiful blue chambray fabric. And then I did the binding from, I believe it was from the April Showers range by Bonnie and Camille, but I'm not 100% sure. So I took some of my favourite clothes of Finn's. T-shirts, that was a t-shirt from Gap. That was a pair of dungarees from John Lewis. That was a sleep suit. That was a t-shirt also from John Lewis, and that one too. And some really cute t-shirts. Crocodile, and these are all John Lewis ones actually. And then I also kept some from his shirt, so like this, but I left the pocket on and the buttons. So when he was younger, he used to play with like opening the buttons and putting things in the pockets. And I believe I've got another one somewhere. Yep. So these were shorts, a pair of shorts that he had, and that was just the back pocket of his shorts. That was the lining, funnily enough, from the suit he wore for his christening, and that was the lining from a waistcoat that he wore for a wedding. And just, you know, things that meant a lot to us, and you know, you can remember him wearing all these things. That was a knitted jumper, that was a t-shirt and another t-shirt, and it's just lovely. And then I backed it in this gorgeous nautical print because of all the blue. So this gorgeous, which I can remember where I bought it from. I bought it from sewandquilt.co.uk. I cannot remember what the fabric is. And if I can stand up and just kind of give you an idea, it's sort of single bed sized. So that's the width of it, and then it's, try and show you. So it's quite a big quilt. And then on the back, I just bought some archival ink pens and wrote just a little message on the back for him. So I just wanted to show that because it's not a difficult thing to make, and it's a great thing to do with kids' clothes if you've got loads left over and you don't want to get rid of them. And even if you're not a great sewer, it's really simple to do. All you'd need to do is probably just look up a tutorial on sashing, which is these bits of fabric between each square. And the kids still love them. They keep them on their beds and they play on them, and they play dens and make things, and you know, they love their quilts. And this is the quilt that lives on Pippa's bed. I didn't make it for Pippa specifically, but it goes in her room. So this is a pattern. I cannot remember the pattern name, but this is a Bonnie and Camille pattern as well. And it's in their April Showers fabric line. This is huge. I believe it's about 75 inches square. And it's made up of 9 of these blocks, and each block is completely different. So that's the first one, and then there's that one as well. And that one. And then I put a grey one in the middle. And it's backed, so I'm knocking things over. I'll stand up just so you can get an idea, but it's a really big quilt, so you won't be able to see all of it. I've shown this on my Instagram a few times. And then there's a grey, that grey square in the middle, and a green one, and a blue one, and I'll move it around this way. A lovely red one in the corner, another green one, and a yellow one. And I love this quilt. It's backed in this beautiful red gingham, it's like a brushed cotton fabric. It's so soft, but I've washed this so many times, but the red from somewhere, I don't know whether you can see, has bled into the white, so I've got pink patches all over it. So if anybody knows how I could ever probably remove those red patches, I would be very grateful. Pippa doesn't care, and I don't really, it doesn't bother me so much that I'm heartbroken about it, but it would be really nice if they weren't there. But that's just a couple of my quilts. I went through a big quilt making phase about 3 years ago, 3-4 years ago, and made loads, and I made an advent calendar for Finn and loads of things. So I'll dig all those things out, and every week, that's not gonna happen, is it? Every podcast I will show you something from the archives. So anything that I've made in the past, and then if you've got any questions about them or patterns or advice or anything, then just either comment in the comment section below, or you can drop me an email, which is norageorgeshop@gmail.com. So now I'm going to move on to acquisitions. So you might be here a while. I invested, and that's just a fancy word for saying I spent too much money on a set of Licker needles. Now I did watch Lily's podcast, who is Nordic Stitches, and she is from Norway, where this word is from. It's a Norwegian word, licker. I believe that's how you say it. Lily, if I'm wrong, please correct me. These are doing the rounds. Everybody seems to be buying them at the minute, and I've never met a bandwagon I didn't like. So obviously I had to try them. They are amazing. So this is the set that I wanted. This is the interchangeable set, and it goes from 3.5 mil, which is a US 4, up to a 12 mil, which is a US 17. And my lovely friend Tracy also bought me some extra tips and sent them over from Canada because she's amazing. So I have some extra things, and I also have some extra cables. So I've knit a very small amount with them, just like a little sample square, and love them. So I can't really give any kind of review yet, but I will do that. I will also show you the set of needles that I bought originally that were the wrong ones, because I was in such a hurry to buy them I didn't bother to check if they were right, and I actually bought the DPN set as well, and these are both from Fringe Supply Co. So I was going to send these back, and then I opened them, and they are stunning. They're so beautiful, and whenever I see a pattern like the sleeves that I'm knitting at the moment on my sweater, I will either use a small circular or magic loop. I hate magic loop, I'm not a magic looper. And then I thought, actually, if I keep these DPNs, I can DPN these sleeves and things like that instead of using magic loop. So these go up to a 9mm. that's a US 13. And you can see the light's catching them. They are glossy, but they have got a decent amount of grip too. The points are pretty sharp. You gonna focus? Maybe not. Let me try. 1 second. So the points are pretty sharp. I wouldn't think you'd have many problems doing sort of lace with them, but I would probably always pick metal needles over lace. So these ones go from a 4mm up to a 9mm. And it's in this gorgeous sort of waxed something or other case. It's not leather. But I decided to keep them as a present to myself. Which I know I shouldn't have done, but it's too late now. So the other things that I wanted to show you was following on from that. Oops, I'm dropping things on the floor. I've got a few things I forgot to show last time, so I've put them in the bag for this time. My lovely friend Tracy, when she sent me those liquor needles, she actually messaged me when she was in the shop local to her, which I think is called Pearl. And she said, oh, they've got National Parks yarn in, which I've seen before and thought it was stunning. So I said, oh, can you pick me a skein of that and another skein of something that you think I'll like? And this is what she sent. So this is Sweet Georgia Yarn's Tough Love sock, and it's in Summer Skin colour, which is a beautiful turquoise, which is just my colour, favourite colour. And this one is the National Parks, let's get it the right way up, National Parks collection. From Fleece Artist. And if I can find, it's on a merino slim base, which is 100% superwash merino, 113 grams, 400 meters. And it is, oh, I cannot pronounce that, but it says BC, so I know that's British Columbia. So there you go. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous mix of blues and greens and red and gold. And there's a touch of brown at the bottom. It's just perfect. I love it so much. Thank you, Tracy. I know I put pressure on you saying, oh, just pick me a skein, it's fine. But you did good. And what else did I have to show? I have got, this came last time and I completely forgot to show it. Please excuse the crinkling. Let me find where this bag opens. I ordered a sock blank from Kelly, which is Lay Family Yarn. Also was formerly Lakeside Yarn. And these sock blanks are actually painted by Kelly's husband, Nick. And I wanted a nice Halloween inspired sock blank to knit up. And look at that. How cool is that sock blank? And what I'm planning to do is knit some of it and then make a pillow or something out of the rest. I'll probably knit half and keep half, because how could you not keep that? It's just beautiful. I'll show you the card, although it is Kelly's old company name, Lakeside Yarns. She's now Lay Family Yarn. I think I've actually got something else to show from Kelly, so ignore that. It's professional again. So let me pop that back in there. And that's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's really soft, super soft. And I have so many things in here. I have some pins, some enamel pins. These are from Kelly Connor Designs. If you don't like bad language, look away now. You can see that. Some enamel pin badges. So I have that one and this one. It's Kelly Connor Designs. I couldn't resist those. I'm going to pop those on my fringe field bag in a moment. I also have some stitch markers, and these are by Chapel View Crafts, which is a shop on Etsy, and it's a biscuit collection. Sorry about the shine coming off the window. The can't really stop it. There's a mini Battenberg, a digestive biscuit, a jammy Dodger, which is the wrong way round. Let me take it out of the packet and you can see properly without the glare. Probably would have been the best idea in the first place, but anyway. So there is a piece of cake, a jammy Dodger, a chocolate digestive, I'll show you all the polymer clay ones, a Battenberg cake, and a lovely little cup of tea. So these are all handmade polymer clay charms. These ones are stitch markers, but I also bought them in the lobster clasp progress keepers as well. So that's Chapel View Crafts and they are based on Etsy. But they're absolutely lovely, and they're really light. Polymer clay ones, they're really lightweight. Perfect for, especially the progress keepers, for putting on your work. Really lovely. I can't wait to use those. I've been saving them in this bag. Another thing I forgot to show you last time are these beautiful crochet hooks from one of my favourite makers, and that is Pedro's Plaques on Etsy. So I've got 3 crochet hooks here, and Karen makes these out of polymer clay as well. So I've got 2 with little beehives on, they're different sizes, and then this gorgeous cactus, and then there's the hooks on the other side, and she puts on the ends the sizes. So there's a 4, a 3 and a 3.5, I believe. Yeah, let's see if you will focus. Probably not. Ah, there we go. So she stamps the sizes on the base of the crochet hooks, and they're just so lovely to work with. They've got an indent there for holding it. I absolutely love these. I've got a great collection of Karen's products, and she's Pedro's Plaques on Etsy, so please go and check her out. Her stuff's just stunning. I've never ever been disappointed with anything that I've had from Karen, and I've had a fair bit. Following on like notions wise, I did order some progress keepers from Jiggles and Beans, who are also on Etsy, and this is like a little ghost lollipop. How cute is that? Oh, it's more like a little vampire actually. So I bought 2 of these, and I'm going to use one for myself because I can't just give both of them away, and I'm going to give one away as a giveaway. And if you want to be entered into the giveaway, I will put a thread up in the Ravelry group. We are Norah George Yarns, or sorry, Norah George on Ravelry as a group, and I'll put a little giveaway thread, and all you have to do for that is tell me your favourite thing about Halloween, and I will draw a winner before the next podcast and get that out in the post to you. It's a nice little giveaway there. So also from Jiggles and Beans, I bought this little guy. These are all our Halloween themed progress keepers, and a little witch, my camera's being really difficult today, and a little lollipop, and finally a cupcake. Really cute. I love the card and the branding. So this is, if I just show you the card, they're kawaii handmade charms, and then it's at the bottom, it will show, Jiggles and Beans on Etsy. So give them a check out as well. They're fantastic. They're so much fun, these little charms. They are big, but they're not heavy, so they'll be fine for hanging on a project. But check those out, and also don't forget to enter the giveaway. I'm going to put this in a little bag so it stays nice and neat and tidy and happy. And also with that giveaway as well, I'll chuck in a little skein of mini skein of yarn as well to go with it. So there's that little guy. He's so sweet. I'm still going. This is the first bag. I also ordered some yarn from one of my favourite dyers, who is Tilting Planet. So this one is called Rowdy, and it's a natural base with pale blue and some red and black speckles. So if you know me, anything blue. And also this one, which is called Luna, which is a pale, beautiful yellow. I'd love to know how to dye that yellow, because it is just perfect. And it's got very pale pink and black sort of speckles with it as well. And then also from Tilting Planet, I ordered some stitch markers, and they're so cute. I'll just show you a couple of them. So this is upside down, but the charm is the right way. You can see it's a tiny bottle with little stars in, and they actually move around. And I've got also the same bottle but with like little peppermint sweets in as well. And finally a little bottle with a little fluffy pink, I can't remember what she called these on her shop, but they are so cute and they all move around. I absolutely love those. I have got a few other stitch markers from Tilting Planet as well, and I just love them so much. They're so much fun, but they're so beautiful. You kind of don't want to use them, which defeats the object, I know. But I'm going to put these away because I've got another bag to go through. Let's put my needles away. Okay. So I ordered going back to Lay Family Yarns, I ordered the Gingerbread Man Christmas kit, and it came with a bag. It's got little bells on. And I can't remember the maker of the bag, which is terrible. Is there a name? Oh, it's Craft House, of course it is, Craft House Magic. Elliot Craft House Magic. And then inside it's got this gorgeous green fabric, and there's Ellie's label. And Kelly, who is Lay Family Yarns, there's their card. Oops. layfamilyyarn.etsy.com dyed the yarn to go with it. So it's a stellina, I believe it's a gold stellina as well. Yeah. So it's like a lovely gingerbread colour with a natural section with speckles of red and green, and a gorgeous stellina red mini as well. I just put these little bells on. It was so cute. When I went to get these from the post box, I could hear it jingling. I was like, oh my gosh, what is in that parcel? What is in that parcel? Because I'd completely forgotten that I'd ordered it. And it's just lovely. I'm so glad I managed to get that. I also bought something in the sale at Clementine Taco, this gorgeous little sock pyramid. And there's the label. And the fabric is the Alice in Wonderland, pink Alice in Wonderland fabric. And it's a perfect size for a pair of socks, and you can also just slip your hand into the handle and carry it around. So really helpful. I'm going to move quite quickly. I joined the 3-month club from Nicole C. Mendez. She's an indie dyer based in Germany. Not going to focus, is it? Oh yeah, there we go. She's also on Etsy, and it's a striping club, a 3-month striping club, and this colourway is called Summer in the City, and it's a lovely sort of peach, yellow, turquoise, grey striping, and it's 80% extra fine merino, 20% nylon, 400 metres and 100 grams. And it's perfect for me, it's just my colours, so it's perfect first scheme for me. I did a swap with lovely Amy of Stranded Dye Works. Sorry, it's noisy. Because I really wanted some of her Mettlesome colourway, which is one of my favourite of her colourways. And last time I missed out, I messaged her and said, oh, I missed out again. I got cart, I got the things that I wanted, but I missed out on that one. And she said, oh well, do you fancy doing a swap? And we'll do a sweater quantity each. So she dyed up this for me. sorry, came to the end. So Amy dyed up some sweater upside down again. Just cover up the cards, there's a little message on there. And then she also sent me a sample skein of her new base, her Fjord base, which is 80% Superwash BFL and nylon. It's a high twist, which is gorgeous. And also a skein of Industrial Kingfisher, which is one I always miss out on as well. So that was about 2 weeks ago. And then in Amy's first shop update on her new website, which is fantastic, well done Amy, I managed to snag a skein of Botanical on her Paradise MCM base, which I think is kind of Christmassy. Very soft pale green with very delicate speckles. It's really lovely, super soft. And finally, I decided that this time I'm going to take part in Stephen West's Mystery Knit Along. I just really wanted to, I really regretted not doing the last one. So I've signed up, and I actually even bought one of the colour sets from Stephen and Penelope, which is all Hedgehog fibres. So I'll show you the 4 main skeins first, pulling the labels off, never mind. This is one, and this is a potluck colourway. Gonna focus, there we go. So it's a lovely charcoal grey with blue and orange, green. It's on a singles base. And this one, which is typewriter, which I've always wanted to buy and never have. Also, these are all on, the big 100-gram skeins are all on singles base. Let's try and get it to focus. There we go. So it's just a natural with lovely grey speckles. I thought there were 4. Oh, there's 3. And the final one, I'm doing well today, aren't I? Very prepared, as I'm sure you expected. And the final one is, colourway is Juniper, which is stunning. It's a grey with all these amazing speckles. Pretty much every colour of speckle you could imagine. So those are the 3 main colours, and then you've got a selection of minis, and this is their sock mini, so it's just on their sock base, not as opposed to the singles. And these are all my kind of colours. I love this one so much. And this one. I love them all actually. So the colours are Glacier, that's a potluck. Ferrum is the green. Petrol is this grey blue. And finally Graphite is the dark grey. So I'm really looking forward to getting started on that. I believe it starts in a couple of weeks, but I'm not 100% sure. It's probably started already and I don't know. But I'm really excited for that to start. So that is about all of my acquisitions, I believe. Oh no, I have one more to show. I was contacted by Busybird on Instagram, who makes these amazing bags, and offered to send one to me. And it's just beautiful. It's a maker bag. It comes with a lovely progress keeper, which is a butterfly and a little hanging thing that says knit. Turn the butterfly over. And inside it's super bright drawstring bag. And it's just gorgeous. There's her little label at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to give this away. So why don't we lump in all together the Jiggles and Beans, the maker bag, and I will throw in a nice mini skein of Norah George yarn as well. So same, it will all be one giveaway. So the question is, what is your favourite thing about Halloween? And you will get a project bag, a stitch marker, and a mini skein of yarn. Always good to end the podcast on a high note. So really, that's all I've got to show you. I say all, it's quite a lot. That's what I wanted to show you today. So, general chatter, what's been going on? Well, we're deep in, as I said before, deep into advent calendar dyeing. I've got some things arriving to go in the boxes soon, hopefully, and I'm hoping to get the international orders out by the middle of October and the UK orders out by the end of October, because obviously the international ones will take a lot longer to arrive, so they are the priority to get those out first. I'm dyeing up clubs today and Mrs. Weasley's club next week. I've got the Curious Handmade retreat that I've been planning for and doing a bit of dyeing for that as well to take with me. And this last week the kids started back at school, so Finn's gone into reception, his first year of big school, and he's loving it, although he's incredibly tired and very grumpy and tearful this morning, which is not like him at all. And Pippa has also started at the preschool nursery section of the same school, so I dropped them both off to the same place, picked them up from the same place, and it's just heaven. I've got so much work done this week, it's unbelievable. So apart from that, all I've been doing is working. I'm enjoying doing the advent calendars, but I will be very glad when they're finished because it's a lot of work. Like I said, 4,200 minis, and I also have 100 skeins, I believe, of 400 gram skeins to dye as well for those boxes. So it's a lot of work, but I love it when it's done, and I haven't complained about it. I've just said it's a lot of work because it is, but I'm loving every second. I will have 2 Christmas boxes coming out. I'm not going to give out too many details yet because they're still being finalised, but I'm working with another fantastic artist who is based on Etsy, who makes stitch markers. And the first box will be a Christmas in the Great Hall box, which is a Harry Potter inspired, and you will get a skein of yarn and a specially designed and made stitch marker for that box. There will also be a Star Wars Christmas box. This one will be a limited edition, as the other one will as well. They will be on pre-order basis. I'm not sure when the pre-orders will go up yet. It will be sometime in October for them to ship, November, possibly December. So if they are for Christmas gifts, internationally, we might be pushing it a little bit. But they will hopefully be sort of latest first week of December. The Star Wars box will be 2 skeins of yarn and 2 stitch markers and another couple of things, but they will be a premium box. So they will be a bit more expensive, but they will be extra special, and I am so excited to get started on them. I cannot wait. So I will put more information about those on my Instagram, which I didn't say earlier. I'm Norah Georgians on Instagram and Norah Georgians on Ravelry. I probably did put it on the screen because I realised I forgot after filming. So that's about all I have to share with you today. Because I've got so much dyeing to do, I just had to squeeze in a really quick episode, and I didn't want to leave it another week. I was planning on filming last week, but so much work to do, I just didn't have time. But it's been lovely to be back and chatting with you, and I'm hoping next time it will be 2 weeks, and then from then on 2 weeks, and we will get into a rhythm. We will get into a rhythm. And if I haven't said I'm filming a podcast, somebody nudge me on Instagram and remind me to do it, please. I would really appreciate that. So everybody have a great weekend, happy knitting, happy crafting, and I will see you next time. Bye.